Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast where connections matters. I am Charles, your host, your servant, your ambassador of hope and opportunity, here to serve you, to bring you podcast interviews of local Detroit area entrepreneurs, local Detroit area artists, local Detroit area thought leaders, community leaders, etc. This is a place where you, as Detroiters, can plug your voice, can plug your product, can plug your service, or to plug your business. I'm excited to bring to you on today's podcast our next guest. Thank you for joining us. Let me read a little information and give an introduction to our next guest. Our next guest is a native Detroiter. She's a graduate of Oakland University here in Michigan. She is the owner and founder of Universal Solutions Management. Over 18 years of experience managing this company. The company is a facilities management and facilities maintenance and management services, specialized in janitorial cleaning services and general contracting. Um, she has been a recipient of several awards. 2018 Salute to Diversity and Leadership Award winner, 2016 Truck Award recipient, graduate sponsor from General Motors Corporation, and 2015 Top 10 Michigan Businesswoman Award. So nice accolades, great business here in the city of Detroit. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our next guest, Cassaundra Sams. Let's give her a round of applause. Yay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
So before we go into your business, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background, anything you feel comfortable sharing?
Sure. I am, as you said, a native Detroiter. I am born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Although sometimes by my voice and diction, people think I'm from somewhere else, but I'm a Detroiter and a Michigander. Basically, I love business. I've been an entrepreneur now for quite some time, as you said. It's been close to about 20 years now. So I love the business community. I love being in business, and I love serving customers and working with staff and things like that. So I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people that I work with, and I'm glad to be here tonight with you.
Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
I would like to start off with another question, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
um, to go into kind of in detail about what you do. Um, kind of give us an explanation about what you do with your business.
Sure. I started this business, some years ago. In fact, about 18 years ago. It had made some variations over the years, but basically, we are a commercial janitorial facilities management company, and we provide maintenance and janitorial services to strictly commercial customers. We've done some things in the residential space, but mostly our customer base is commercial, and we serve customers in the southeastern Michigan area, the Tri-County, Macomb County, Oakland County, and Wayne County. And we've been doing so successfully. And we're very excited about where things have been and where things are going.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
Um, how did you get your start in this area of business?
Well, it's interesting. My story is that I started this business because I came out of another industry, which was the mortgage industry. I was in that industry for about 10 years. And
Okay.
there came the crash of 2008. And when that happened, like myself, like a lot of my colleagues, we lost pretty much everything. They changed the
Wow.
entire business arena, the whole grid of business changed. And literally, I had that business successfully for about 10 years and needed to transition quickly. And so I actually, a friend told me about a company owner that was looking to get out of the business. And so I worked for that person for about a year, And then they just decided that they didn't want anything else to do with the business. So more or less, I acquired this business and a few accounts, but then it was my job to not only maintain those accounts, bring new business on, and grow the business, which I've done now over the past 18 years.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
And was it a challenge being able to grow accounts, get new clients?
That's to say the least. I came from the mortgage business, so
Okay,
I'm used to pretty much wearing suits to work and sitting in front of customers and selling mortgage programs and doing financing or refinancing and things like that for customers. And so when I
okay,
started this business, although it was on a management level, in order to learn this business, I had to learn it from the ground up. So
okay,
I literally put on scrubs. I
okay,
put
okay.
on comfortable shoes. I learned how to not only do the cleaning, to understand the nuts and bolts of what customers look for, what areas to focus on. I call it money shot
Hmm.
areas such as
Okay,
bathrooms and kitchens, mirrors, and the shiny and things that smell good. Those are things that sell a customer on cleaning services all day long, as well as disinfecting and sanitizing, especially due to COVID now. And we can talk about that as we move on. But,
okay.
I learned this business from the bottom up. Another thing is I learned how to strip and wax floors, which was very complicated
Wow.
for me because I'd
Hmm.
never done that before in my life.
Hmm.
But what it taught me was that I could, nobody could ever tell me what it meant to do a floor. If you give me the square footage, I can tell you how long it's going to take to do that floor because I've done it myself personally. This isn't a
Wow.
business I've just run because I've been in a desk behind a desk. I have been out there with my team, with my staff, sometimes by myself, and
Wow.
with my
Okay.
children. I had very small kids, and I could tell you a little bit more about that story, but my kids were very small as I was growing this business, and they're
Wow.
girls.
Okay.
And so the three of us girls sometimes were out very late at night, cleaning a building, making sure that we did not disappoint a customer and provided them with the services they expected and that they were paying for.
Wow. Wow. I find it interesting. You were in another industry that's kind of totally different. Like you said, mortgage industry, where you pretty much wear dress pants, slacks, dresses, and your nails were clean. Then you went to a whole nother industry where you had to clean, as you said, you had to wear scrubs and get on the floor and clean. Uh, how was that transition? What was that like to do that?
It was very difficult initially, but I'm a very determined person. A person that I don't like the word failure
Okay.
because I don't look at it as an option. When things have to get done, they must be done. And so it was hard at first because coming from one industry and going into another industry like that, something I didn't really know about the nuts and bolts about it. And I had to learn and teach myself and literally let some of the staff people that work for me teach me the business because I didn't know it
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of the
Wow.
cleaning and what customers look for and how to mix solutions and chemicals and how to measure those chemicals so that you don't use too much of this or too less of that to either overdo it or to have a product be less effective because you didn't use enough chemical to either kill germs or bacteria and things like that on surfaces. So I had to learn all of that in the
Okay.
business, and sometimes it was very difficult. Part of the story I was going to share with you about when I started this business is there was one night we were doing a floor, and I had been working with my staff person about 7 hours, and they had to go to work the next morning, and that floor had to be done because the customer was coming in first thing that morning, and they wanted to see completion. And
Okay.
so for the first time at that point, my customer had to leave, or my staff person, they had to leave, and I
Wow.
literally stripped and waxed it's about 7,000 square feet of basement floor, including a gym, myself
Wow. Wow.
that
Wow.
night. And I learned everything there is to know about stripping and waxing and finishing. I call it strip and wax, but it's called floor finishing. And so I learned everything there is to know about that business. And so I know when people are cutting corners. I
Wow.
know
Wow.
when staff people are not quite doing a job or milking the clock, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
I know what it takes to do that job. I know exactly what it takes to get that floor, to get it down to its bare floor, and then being able to build the wax up from there and how many coats to put on. So I learned those things myself by doing
Okay.
it. So I know this business in and out like the back of my hand.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said when you made that transition. You wanted to learn the business ground up from the bottom. And I like that you partner with your employees and you allowed them, you had a humble spirit, allow them to teach you some of the things. And eventually over time, you learned the business, you learned how to clean yourself because you have like a polished look. So I wouldn't have thought you would be out there waxing floors or anything like that, but that's good, because a lot of people who are going to business, sometimes they want to be the boss, but a lot of times it's best to learn from the ground level how everything runs, how everything works, so that you'll know when things are being done, that things are being done correctly. So that's awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I can tell you that, I when people use the term "it costs to be the boss,"
Yeah.
that's not a term that you can use lightly or you can use loosely because at the end of the day, to be the boss means that sometimes you have to take off that executive hat, if you will, that corporate hat, and you've got to get down dirty sometimes and do what's necessary to make sure that that job is done and done right. That may mean training with your staff people in the evenings, late into the night, walking multiple buildings with staff people to make sure that things are done correctly and that they're done properly, and making sure that you are coaching as a part of that learning experience so that they can maybe take that experience and as they do more work for the company and they can grow with the company and have other opportunities as you coach and train them in the business. So I've had to do all of that. And that's part of the learning experience to running a business. If you don't know the nuts and the bolts of your business and the foundation of your business, you really don't know your business well.
Okay. That's awesome. That's great advice. I wanted to ask you, you shared about how you made that transition from the mortgage industry, how you learned the business, you got your hands dirty, and you have over 18 years of experience. What would you say separates you from other businesses like yours?
Mm-hmm. I would say, in terms of my business specifically, I'm a hands-on person. My customers pretty much know that they can call me, and they do, pretty much anytime. If there's something that's not going well on a job, while there's a hierarchy in terms of they've got my initial operations people to talk to, things like that, my customers know that I care about the job that my staff is doing. And not only am I going to check behind them, my customers can call me just to, talk about things if they have concerns, issues, and that separates us. I mean, everybody can clean. That's just a basic, if you're in the business, you have to clean well. This is a cleaning business or a facilities business. But that's some of the initial things. Our customers know that we care about them. We take them on as our part of our family. And it's my job to make sure that our customers can sleep at night. So we go to
Okay.
work so that they can sleep at night and be at peace and do what they do best, which is to run their company, their operations, or whatever it is they do. So they don't have to follow up behind us and look after us and things like that. And they've got places to go when there is a concern or an issue, and we get those things dealt with and addressed very quickly.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I like how you said you have a personal touch, you hands-on, and you work directly with your contracts or your customers. That's awesome. Um, I'm pretty sure there's people who are going to see this, who are going to listen on their podcast or see it on YouTube, who may be wondering. They may have a interest in being an entrepreneur, maybe going into your line of work, your line of business. What advice would you give someone who's starting out in a facilities management or janitorial cleaning business?
First, I think the first thing you have to do is you have to have the right mindset. To go into business, you have to first of all understand one thing. You have to understand that you have a customer to serve, and you have to have a heart for service. Number one.
Hmm.
Number two, you've got to have a quality product or service.
Okay.
That you can't go into business and not have an idea of the level and the standard to which that product or service must be delivered to a customer. Because let's face it, we're in the plant in the janitorial field and or facilities services field. It's not rocket science. So anyone can do this job, but not everyone can do this job well. And so I would say to have that understanding that you have to have a quality product and service. And the next thing is your mindset has to be positive. That sometimes, if you go into business, you have to not only have a good product, a good service, you have to know that, what the customer is looking for, what they will pay. You've got to be able to set your pricing appropriately. You have to be competitive, but more importantly, your mindset on how to succeed, how to serve that customer time and time again when things go well. You got to serve that customer well when things don't go very well. And you've got to know how to address a situation when things do fall apart so that you continue to maintain your business and manage your customer base so that you can continue growing as a company. Because at the end of the day, if you're in business for yourself, if you're not making dollars, you're not making sense.
Okay, great, great. That's some great, great advice.
Mhm.
Uh, what is one thing you would do with your business if you knew you could not fail?
If I knew I couldn't fail, I'd probably go see if I could take over Dan Gilbert's Bedrock business, and
Oh,
talk
okay.
to him and see if I could partner with him and be his number one,
Yes, yes.
partner or subcontractor or something like that. I would probably take on all of his buildings. If I knew I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
fail, I would take it all. He's got most
Okay.
of Detroit. So
Right, right, right. I've been wanting to ask
I
you,
go big.
being that you're a woman and also you're a Black business owner, what has been some challenges or obstacles you had to overcome in doing your business?
That's a great question, Charles. Being a woman in a male dominated field, typically, first of all, you're not looked at as somebody that can get a job done consistently. Often looked over. I've gone to bidding meetings and they thought I was the secretary serving coffee.
Oh, okay.
And then they saw me sit at the table and they're like, oh, what is she doing here? Um,
Yeah.
but, at the end of the day, no matter what color you are, no matter what sex you are, when you come to the table and you know your business and you work hard and you're dedicated and you serve that customer well,
Hmm.
nobody really cares what you look like. They don't care, what you do. At the end of the day, there's been challenges, but you overcome those challenges by proving that you can do the work that the customer needs.
Okay. Okay. Now, as you know, we all are dealing with this pandemic, um, and it's impacted lives across the world. What significant changes have you made due to the COVID-19 pandemic in your business?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's hurt, our business as well as many other businesses. I'll never forget the day that March 23rd, 2020, when we got the phone call. We were all watching television, and the governor shut the state of Michigan down. Every
Wow.
business went home. All my customers went home. We went home, um, and it's been a difficult haul in terms of what it took to kind of stay afloat, keep the business growing. But some of the things that I've done during this time is I've decided to pivot our company. I mean, only 10% of our customer base stayed open during the initial phase of the pandemic when we were on shutdown. They were only essential. So that was the construction field and electronics and things like that, things that kept the country, or in this case, Michigan, running. So for those customers, they were still working, but it was very difficult initially. And so ultimately, what I did was looked at ways in which we could pivot quickly to stay open. So
Mhm.
there were outbreaks that people were having. I started partnering with other companies out there, letting them know that we did what we call electrostatic virus disinfectant cleaning. And
Great,
so
great.
we got PPE money from the federal government. We
Okay.
got grant money that helped us as well. We purchased machines, electrostatic fogging machines, so that we can go in and kill the virus on contact by literally covering thousands and thousands of square footage with a spray to
Hmm.
kill the virus on contact. And
Hmm.
so that allowed us to really serve our customers and new customers very well. And so we got calls, and that helped us to sustain our business. and
Okay.
manage our revenue during a very difficult time where there are many businesses that are closing who are still closed even today.
Okay.
That was one
Wow.
of the pivots. Another pivot is we took this time. I took this time to get into the coaching business because
Okay.
I'm opening up another venue of my business, which is coaching.
Okay.
I'm considered what you call a transformational life coach. And
Okay.
I will be working with other business people that want to go into business for themselves,
Okay.
other business owners who want to grow their business, people that are trying to look at what does it take to really get to that next level.
All
And
right.
sometimes we all need a coach, a mentor, somebody to help us look at the, our blind spots, so to speak,
All
and
right.
be able
Great.
to
Great.
remove some barriers to help people get to where they're trying to go. That's on the business side, but I do it for life. And so there are people that are experiencing a lot of stress and trauma as a
Right.
result of this pandemic and the
Right.
COVID-19 pandemic, where they've lost businesses, they've lost jobs, they have lost relationships, marriages are failing. They need, a lot of times people need somebody to talk to where they can, look at strategies on how to get back on track and, maybe have somebody help guide them through that process. While I don't have all the answers together, I know that if we sit down and talk about things and work through things, oftentimes people need a coach and a partner, for somebody that's willing to sit and take some time and just help them work through some issues so they can get on the other side of where they're stuck. And so it's my job, and I'm a certified coach. So I've taken this time to become certified as a transformational life coach, so that I can
Okay.
help people deal with whatever trauma and issues that result out of this pandemic and other issues in their life to move
Okay.
forward.
Okay. Okay. Um, I like the fact you're using your experience to help coach others. So would you say that if there's people that who have an interest in learning about the facility maintenance business or janitorial cleaning, that you're willing to share your experience and give advice and coach them to be successful?
Absolutely. That's one of the big areas that we're looking to do. I've been in this business 20 years. I want to share that expertise. There are a lot of people that have left entire industries that have faltered. I mean, if you own a restaurant today,
Right.
you're having some serious issues. And there are about 450,000 resumes, or excuse me, restaurants across the country, I hear, that will never reopen again.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And so um, one of the things I've received help from the Great Lakes Business Women's Business Center, who's helped companies like mine and other companies just stay afloat during this process. And so I want to share the things I've learned over my years of business, and
Okay.
how I've been mentored and coached through this process, and share those things with other people,
Hmm.
so that they can get back into, maybe even use janitorial as an opportunity. This business can be run from their home. I have literally been working from my home for the
Okay.
last 365 days.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
I
That's
want to teach
awesome.
other people to do the same through coaching and working with them to help them build a successful business as well. This is my
Okay.
second successful business, and ultimately, this business, my first business. I was very successful in the mortgage business. So we managed seven figures in that business.
Okay.
In
Okay.
this business, we're in the high six figures, about to hit seven figures. And so I want to be
Okay.
able to work with other people who want a piece of that pie. They can have it, but you've got to
Okay.
have a strategy, you've got to have a plan, and you've
Okay.
got to have some assistance to help you get there. And I'm willing to work with people to do that.
What do you see as some of the coming trends in your business?
Well, some of the trends is there are not going to be that many offices to clean as we used to do.
Mhm.
So we've got to think of ways in which we can continue managing our facility services. There's not going to be as many people working in a space anymore, because let's face it, most people are working from home right now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're going to be pivoting to things like electrostatic spraying as the virus continues. There's still
Okay.
going to be outbreaks. Let's face it, Michigan is having a spike right now, even.
Right.
And so our customers have already lined up to kind of get things geared up, and we're putting people on what you call a schedule now. We can
Okay.
say every 6 months or every 3 months or quarterly. we're going to come in and do a spraying. And it just puts people at ease.
Okay.
It
Okay.
gives the customer peace of mind to know that somebody's looking out for their health and well-being, as well as sanitizing and cleaning their space. So it just gives them that level of comfort. So there's going to be a great deal of residential business that's
Okay.
going to increase now. So for those of us who are just doing commercial, take a look. We're probably going to be doing some more things in the residential space as well.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so there's just a lot of new trends that's going to happen as a result of this pandemic. And we still don't know all the different changes that are going to happen. Will
Mhm.
commercial business go away? Never. We're always
Mhm.
going to work in buildings. We're always going
Okay.
to manage buildings. There's not going to stop buildings basically to clean. But what we have to do is find out what we need to do to go after that business and pivot in the way that the customer needs us to based on their new needs and address those needs immediately.
All right. Okay. That sounds interesting. And
Yeah.
I know with as a result of the pandemic, there's going to be a lot of changes, and companies going to have to pivot. And and as you said, there's going to be less people working in the office, so that means less cleaning. But there's opportunities in residential, so that's awesome. What would you say you found the most effective ways to promote your business?
For me, word of mouth has always been my go-to. Also through networking, I'm a part of a number of organizations and groups
Okay.
um, that we that I constantly stay in connection with. People know my name, marketing, and now social media to get the word out there on LinkedIn. Staying updated with that, getting, letting people know what you do. And there's a way to actually approach people through LinkedIn to have them acknowledge your business and people that directly work in the areas that you want to service. So there's just a number and a variety of ways. Those are some things I've done, but I've always been successful word of mouth.
Okay.
I've had literally people that work for me and work for the company have say that, oh, such and such wanted to contact the owner, and so I gave them your number, and so we've even gotten business that way. I've also had what we call a marketing appointment setters work for us who've gone out and just marketed our business as well. And so, through my coaching, that's part of the things that the strategies I'd like to share with people on how they can start business now. I mean,
Hmm.
literally, people can be up and running and start a janitorial business in literally a couple weeks once they get their
Wow.
mindset ready
Okay.
and ready for business. It can be in a couple weeks. They could have their first account in a few weeks with the right
Wow.
strategies and process in place.
Okay. What would you say is one sentence that you would like people to use in describing the way you do business?
I care.
You care. Okay.
I care about my customer, and I'm dedicated to making sure that we do quality work. Our
Okay.
customer has to sleep at night. They shouldn't have to oversee the janitorial cleaning and do their job too.
Okay. Okay.
Like to take that pressure off their plates.
Okay. Okay. As we wrap things up, what type of inspiration or encouragement you would give to somebody who may be viewing or listening, who may want to go into the janitorial business or facility maintenance, or maybe just be an entrepreneur? What words of encouragement or advice or things you would say to them?
Basically, I would say that just decide on what you want to do, and when you make that decision, put aside everything that would hold you back from that and just give it your all. If you give it your all, commit to it, dedicated to it, you will be successful. There are going to be things that are going to come up and stand in your way, but you've got to power through those things because let's face it, success has it. I always tell my daughter this that success it leaves clues.
Okay. Okay.
So when you're successful, there's the work that goes behind that. And so when you look at the work that's being put out there, success is going to follow. And
All right.
certainly having people in your life that you can count on to talk with and coach you through, because let's face it, doing business by yourself is not easy, um, but it's not impossible. And frankly, it's very attainable with the right resources and the right opportunities.
Okay. That's awesome. What do you what do you do to get your own source of inspiration and encouragement?
Hmm. That's easy because first of all, I'm a Christian, and so
Okay.
I'm a believer. And I know that at the end of the day, if I do, I manifest things. I believe in manifesting and putting positive energy out there, and I do it through the work as well. And
Hmm.
I know that as I look to God, who is
Hmm.
my source, He brings opportunities. I have literally gone into bidding situations and asking God, literally, Lord, I don't know the number to generate at this point based on the scenario. Um, I said, give me the numbers that I'm looking for that I need to win this contract. It's happened on occasion, and I look
Hey,
and
that's
say, you
great.
know what? It's if something is to be, it's meant to be, and if it's for you, it's for you. So
Yeah.
I look to God, and I look to my own faith in myself as well,
Okay. All
and
right.
dedication, and the people that have come before me, because I was trained by not only my own staff, but there have been a lot of mentors that have come in and gone out of my life over the years that have taught me not only just this business in janitorial, but business in general. And
Yeah.
so I look to those people and the lessons that I've learned from them to help me to stay on track and to continue to be successful.
That's awesome. It sounds like you are sharing with everyone that your keys to success is that spiritual foundation, having mentors, you can seek advice and guidance, and learning from others. That's an awesome formula. Um, Before we wrap things up, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and get in contact with you, what social medias or contact numbers you like to share, and maybe people who are listening who need a bid or maybe some services for their company or small business, what's the best way people can reach you?
The best way people can reach me is on LinkedIn. Universal Solutions Management is the name of my company. You can also go to our website at www.gousmi.com. So it's go, like you go to the store,
Okay.
US for the United States, MI for Michigan.com. And you can reach out to me. You can leave me a message there, and we'll definitely get back with you and share with whatever your needs are at that point. We can work through it and we can talk about it. And hopefully, we can either provide you a service, or for those reaching out for coaching or anything else, we can certainly assist in that arena as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. This is Detroit Metro Plug. So I need you to plug that website and your social medias one more time for our viewers and listeners. I want to make sure
Sure.
people
The
get
name
in
of the
touch.
company, our company, is Universal Solutions Management, and our website is www.go for go US for the United States, MI for Michigan.com. So www.gousmi.com.
All right, awesome. Well, Ms. Cassandra Sims, I want to thank you for being our guest and sharing about your business and sharing your story.
Yeah,
Wish you continued success.
thank you.
You're doing great work here. You're employing people in our area and providing great services. I wish you well as you pivot during this pandemic.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so
Here's
that's
to listening.
exciting. Yes.
Absolutely.
So that does it for this episode for Detroit Metro Plug. Uh, I encourage you to, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like what you're seeing, I encourage you to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Hit that like button and subscribe, and tell your friends. We definitely want to be a platform for Detroiters to have their voice, who are business owners, thought leaders, artists, authors. We want to plug what they're doing and create a platform locally for people can share about what they're doing and be an inspiration and encouragement to others. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for listening and thanks for viewing. You have a blessed night or day.
Thank you.